Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check the description or visit CCG Castle for more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Legacy deck. Yes, it's been a long time since I last time uploaded the Legacy deck, and this one is a Donphan Prime. So Donphan, one of my favorite cards from the Heart Gold Soul Silver era, of course, featuring Steelix. Those two cards are my favorite cards. Donphan, 120 HP, Pokebody, Exoskeleton. Any damage done to Donphan by attacks is reduced by 20, so that's very, very sick Pokebody. Special with a card like Defender, which says that attach Defender to one of your Pokemons, discard this card at the end of your turn. At the end of your opponent's next turn, basically any damage done to your Pokemon will the Defender is attached will be reduced by 20. So yeah, you can actually reduce the damage for 40 with one Defender and Exoskeleton. But if you even have two Defenders, you can reduce the damage for 60. 1 energy for 60, Earthquake does 10 damage to each of your benched Pokemons. Well, not bad. I'm also running Mr. Mime, who can actually prevent those damage counters from the Donphan, but also that Earthquake might be good because even Phanpy with 70 HP and the Flare can actually with single energy hit for the 70. Actually for the 60 if he has 6 damage counters on it, so it's pretty decent combo. And also a Terrakion with Retaliate for 2 energies will be able to hit for the 90 just in case you lost your Donphan, you want to retaliate. And of course with Eviolite you can also take 20 damage less, and with Defender 40 on your Terrakion, which is also very, very good. And of course I'm running 2 copies of Portrait Smurgle, so once during my turn I can use my Smurgle if it's in the active position to look at my opponent's hand. If there's a supporter card, I can play it as the effect of the portrait. And that's pretty much it. 13 Pokemon, 37 trainer cards, and 10 energies. The main focus of the deck is to defend and hit for 60 from turn to turn. And that's pretty much it. Against the X's you can hit for the 90 with Silver Bangle, and with the Exoskeleton and the Defenders you can just reduce the damage that they can do to you. Only problem for this deck might be those water decks. Against the grass decks you can actually do the great job because Genesect Virizion actually will not be able to one-hit you knockout without G-Booster, Reshiram, Zekrom. They cannot one-hit you knockout. You have resistance on Zekrom, so Zekrom can have a hard time to knocking out Donphan, but also Reshiram for 120 will not be able to knock you out because you also have the Exoskeleton Pokebody. So from A-Spec I decided to roll with the Computer Search, of course. 4 copies of Defender, just because with Defender I can reduce the damage for 20, and I can use them with the Junk Harm over and over again. So very nice combo. 3 copies of Dual Ball, flip 2 coins for each heads. I can search my deck for a basic Pokemon, show to my opponent, and put into my hand. A very nice trainer card. 1 copy of Escape Rope. You need to have Escape Rope always in deck. Escape Rope can bring you a victory from nowhere. Trust me. 3 copies of Heavy Ball, so I can search my deck for pretty much Terrakion or Donphan without paying extra cost. 3 copies of Junk Harm. From all our cards, I'm running 1 Pokemon Catcher who is actually errated. It's errated. It's not anymore. Switch your opponent active Pokemon, one of his or her benched Pokemon. You need to flip a coin right now. 1 Random Receiver, just in case I don't have supporter card. I can always Junk Arm from the Random Receiver. Copy of Super Road. 1 Switch. You never know when you need Switch. Same as a Tool Scrapper. So pretty much those are tech cards: Catcher, Receiver, Super Road, Switch, and Tool Scrapper. From supporter cards, of course, 1 Chorus. It can give you a big amount of the cards. Getsis. A Legacy format actually requires a lot of item cards, so Getsis is a pretty good card to have. 2 copies of N, 2 copies of N, 4 copies of Juniper, 2 copies of Professor's Oak New Theory. Since there is no Shame, Octillery, and stuff like that, you really need to have at least 7-8 drop supporter cards. 1 Skyla optional. It can always help me to search my deck for any trainer card I really need, even for that supporter card. 2 Sky Arrow Bridge, so I can have free retreat with my Smurgle. 3 Eviolites, 1 Silver Bangle, and 10 Fighting Energy Basics. So if you're looking for any of these cards, as usual, you can find them on CCGCastle.com with TCG Center 5 code. You can also get 5% discount on your purchase, so also keep that in mind. Yeah, definitely very nice deck to play. I enjoy always when I play any kind of Donphan or Steelix deck. Today I will also play with it, so sit, relax, enjoy the video, and see you at the end of the video. So see you there. Alright guys, let's do this. So today I will play a Legacy format a little bit. Didn't play Legacy in a while, so why not to play a little bit. I'm playing with my Donphan tank deck, so it's very interesting deck, to be honest. I do have Heavy Ball sitting in my hand, Switch, and Professor's Oak New Theory. I guess I'm gonna put one of my defenders or not. I think I'm not gonna put defender yet. Let's just go with Oak New Theory. Get 6 new cards, looking for that energy attachment. Alright, so there's energy attachment. And that's pretty much it. Will pass my turn, cannot attack turn 1. Looking forward for that turn 2, so I can actually attach my defender. Maybe even try to get something like Donphan. So on the other side, the Reshiram, Ninetales, maybe even Typhlosion. Not quite sure, but we'll find out. So there's one energy attachment and a Silver Bengal and another Silver Bengal. And will there be maybe Juniper and... oh, actually N is a pretty nice gift for me in this situation. So I can get Eviolite for my Terrakion, I can put another Phanpy on the bench, I can roll with my Sky Arrow Bridge, why not, to have one retreat less. Alright, so there's a Pokemon Reversal, and it's my turn. No problem. So, the reason why I'm running Sky Arrow, basically, because of the Smurgle. Do I want to attach one energy? I guess I'll roll with my Terrakion Defender onto my Phanpy, Sky Arrow Bridge, and for 6 new cards, hopefully there is going to be Donphan, so there we go. There's a Donphan, and luckily I managed to find a Tool Scrapper, which means that I can get rid of 2 tools. So I'm going to discard that Rock Guard, and of course I'm going to be able to hit for I'm going to be able to hit for 60. This will does 10 damage to each of my benched Pokemons. So far so good. Do I want to use my computer search? Well, I guess I don't want to. Just go with a Earthquake for 60. 10 to everyone on my bench. Actually, this is not bad because as many damage counters I can have on my Phanpy, I can use for 1 Energy Flare for 80. And that's the reason why actually I like to use that instead of getting Mr. Mime and putting it onto my bench. So there's Hypnotoxic Laser, and this is a Tails on the Laser. Okay. And another energy, which means that you can use Outrage for like 90. Actually 80 and 10 of that poison. It's 90 in total. Oh, there's a Ninetales with a bright look. That's very nice. And the Juniper for 7. Another Vulpix. So a lot of Ninetales is going to be on the other side. Ninetales actually can say that when you play Ninetales from your hand, you can use it as a Pokemon catcher without flipping a coin. Basically, you can put one of your opponent Pokemons from the bench into the active position, which is actually very strong attack. So yeah, pretty much Outrage will do the 60 plus 20. Since I have that one defender attached on my Donphan, this is going to be 20 damage less. And also, I have that ability, I mean Pokebody, which will reduce the damage for 20 more from that Reshiram. And this is gonna be a very, very low amount of the damage, only 40, and 10 from the poison, which is 50. Alright, so there's another Rock Guard with that Junk Arm, and there's a Outrage, as I mentioned it, for the 40, and 10 from the poison. That means if I decide to attack his Reshiram, I'm gonna be in trouble, so luckily I managed to find that Junk Arm. And I'm going to use my Junk Arm for another round of the Tool Scrapper, and I will have Colress, huge Colress for 8. So say goodbye to Rock Guard. And another Silver Bengal, Colress for 8. What can I find? Well, there's a Smurgle, nice. One more energy definitely going to be attached to my Terrakion. Heavy Ball for one more Donphan, I guess. So I have option to grab my Mr. Mime, but so far I'm not looking forward to use my Mr. Mime. Really want to put a few more damage counters on my Fanfis. So here's Donphan sitting in the active position. I do have my Silver Bangle. I can use it, but there is no point of using it. So I guess I will just hit with my Earthquake right here for 60 more. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to knock out his Reshiram right here. That's the biggest problem. But it really doesn't matter because I still have Terrakion sitting on my bench who can just use Retaliate, and I can add one more energy and use my Land Crush for 90. I also have that very important Eviolite attached on it, so that means that I can just easily add one more Defender and reduce the damage for the 40, which is just tons of damage to be reduced. 40 in total. And there we go with the Outrage. Before I actually decide to roll with my Terrakion in the active position, of course I'm going to promote my Smurgle into the active spot just because I can use that portrait. One turn of the portrait is always a nice thing to do. So let's go with a energy attachment on a Donphan. I guess I'm going to play my Super Ode, so I can put back one of my Donphan Evolution and energy into my deck. Of course, I'm going to attach my Defender onto my bench Terrakion. I'm going to use my Silver Bangle just because I can. And of course, I'm going to roll with my Portrait. So there's Professor Oak New Theory. Thanks a lot for that. Professor Oak New Theory. 6 new cards will be used. And there's another Smurgle, Eviolite, and very nice Donphan. Alright, so another Donphan. I guess I can use my Catcher right here. But I don't want to do that. Not for now. So I'm going to put my Retaliate for 90. And basically we'll knock out his Reshiram and we'll take one prize. So still 5 more prizes to take. Legacy format is very long. If you play against non-EX deck against non-EX deck, you just need to take 6 prizes, and it takes time. It takes ages actually to do that. So yeah, one Hypnotoxic Laser can do pretty big amount of the damage. 120 if he actually had hit the heads, and if he managed to slip my Terrakion, then he can hit for 120 with that a Hexed Flame, which means that I will take 80 damage from that and 30 from the Verbank, and I'm gonna be with 10 damage counters, actually 20 damage counters left in play. Oh, so he luckily for him, he managed to get that heads, and there's a Hexed Flame for like 80 and 30 from the poison, and I finally wake up, which is important. There's another round of the Defender. There's another Terrakion to be placed on my bench. I do have a few options. Of course, I'm going to play my Eviolite. I'm going to play my Defender onto my Terrakion, I guess. And I don't have another option than roll with my... I can use Catcher, try to get 1 prize knockout. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. I mean, I can maybe try to Catcher his Vulpix, but the most important thing is to get energy actually and try to knock out his Ninetales in the active position. So I think I will just put energy onto my Terrakion. What other options I do have? Pretty much switch. Yeah, I guess Junk Arm for Switch can do the great job right here. So let's go with Skyla. No, for 2 dual balls. I don't need dual balls for the Switch. And Switch will do the great job. I can switch onto my Donphan. And I can preserve my Terrakion, and I can use my Earthquake. Terrakion will not take any damage counter because it has that Eviolite attached to it, same as the Donphan. Okay, so There's a new theory on the other side. At least I have Donphan in the active position, who's going to reduce the damage for 20. But Hypnotoxic Laser, the heads on that laser will probably knock out my Donphan, since we have Rubik City Gym in the active position as a stadium card, and there's a Ninetales, and basically Bright Look will do the job for a knockout, maybe not, since I have, oh, there's a laser, so it will. Okay, at least he managed to play 3 lasers, which is very important, and only 1 junk arm for now has been played. And there's a Hexed Flame, which means only one thing. I'm going to put into my active position, well, I can take a risk right here, which is going to be probably a big risk. I will put my Smurgle in the active position. I do have Skyla, which means that I can Skyla into a junk arm if I need. So I'm going to play my Skyla right here for the Sky Arrow Bridge better, so I can have that free retreat with my Smurgle. Of course, I'm going to play my Portrait, but I do misplay. I should first play Portrait. So, oh, there's a Juniper on the other side, which means that I'm going to play my Juniper with the Portrait. Unfortunately, I was too fast. Didn't attach that. Didn't attach my Defender. So, at least right now I can use my Retaliate and knock out his Ninetales on the other side. And this is gonna be another prize for me. So I'm down to 4. He's also down to 4, and yeah, didn't attach that. I was too fast. Didn't attach that Defender onto my Terrakion. So right now I don't have 20 more damage resistance. But the good thing is that he played 3 Hypnotoxic Lasers. There's another level ball for the Muno. Alright, I like that. Muno can actually give you opportunity to flip a coin if you get heads. Your opponent active Pokemon is going to be asleep. So hopefully he's not going to be able to get heads right here on the coin flip. And I have Army of the Donphans on my bench. So there's a Super Road, which means that he can even bring back a few more Ninetales and Fire Energy back into his deck. Very original idea on the other side. So he decided to roll with the Vulpix, Ninetales, and Energy. And of course there's another Super Road, which means that he can bring back a few more Ninetales energies, maybe even Reshiram. Alright, Reshiram and 2 energies. Okay. So basically if he gets tails on the coin flip, he's gonna waste a turn right here, which means that his Ninetales is not gonna be able to attack. Which is great, because I can use my Escape Probe, I can remove my... Oh, there's a switch on the Reshiram. Nice, nice. At least he can use Outrage. But he didn't. I can do 2 things. I can go with my Guesses, just to see his hand. Alright. And I guess I can use my Escape Probe. And I really want to use my Escape Probe, because I want to preserve my Terrakion so I can use my Retaliate with it. It's very important thing. I'm not going to attach any energy or anything else, so we'll just go with my Donphan into the active position, and we'll hit for 60. Unfortunately, he have that Sky Arrow Bridge in play, which means that he can retreat for free. But at least I can keep my Terrakion on the bench, and I can try to pretty much use my Retaliate with it. So, 60 damage, Mr. Mime. I know that he have Oaknew Theory and Juniper. No sign of the junk arm. 3 Hypnotoxic Lasers has been already played. 2 Super Roads are being played. There's Fire Energy attached on the Vulpix and Oaknew Theory, which means that he's going down to 11 cards. I'm down to 7. I cannot play my Random Receiver. I cannot play my Juniper. I just don't want to use those cards right now. Because I can easily run out of the cards. At least Ninetales can do pretty decent amount of the damage right here, 50, and 10 from the poison. And that means that I'm just going to put another Donphan in play, and we'll have enough damage to knock out that Ninetales. So I'm 1 prize ahead, and that's very important. Unfortunately, Smurgle is going to take 10 more damage counters, so still need to take 3 prizes. I really need my catcher right here. I do have junk arm left, probably in my deck somewhere, maybe not. So I really need my junk arm to use my catcher to try to actually knock out one of his Pokemons on the bench, maybe even Escape Rope will do the job. So there's a Luna, and I fall down to sleep. And there's a Reshiram. That might means, oh, so there's a Ninetales. All right, this is gonna be a knockout, and that means that I can use my Terrakion for Retaliate, put it into the active position, hit for the 90, which will help me actually to knock out that Ninetales. That means that I'm going down to 2 prizes, and that's very important. So there's a Dual Ball. Let's see what I have left in my deck with a Heavy Ball. So there's a Junk Arm, there's a N and 3 energy cards. So that means that I'm going to attach one of my energies onto my Donphan, and I'm going to use my Retaliate. I can end right now, but I think I'm not gonna end yet. So let's just go with Retaliate for the 90, which is enough for the knockout. Down to 2 prizes. I really need that Junk Arm so I can actually try to knock out one of his Pokemons on the bench, so I can take 2 more prizes. It's very close match right here. I'm down to 5 cards. At least I know what I have left in my deck. I have Junk Arm and 3 energies, and actually right now I can even use my Land Crush for 90, which will be exactly enough for a knockout against Ninetales, for example. So there's 1 Fire Energy attached on the Reshiram. He can always use his Muna. There's a Junk Arm, so that Junk Arm can be for even Hypnotoxic Laser right here, and this definitely can be a very big play. So Junk Arm for Laser, can he get heads? I guess he can. That's not good. There's Oak New Theory, which means that he goes to 2 cards. Will there be a knockout? Oh, there's even Verbic City Gym and the Level Ball for the Ninetales, which means that he don't have Ninetales in his deck. Oh my gosh, he didn't put Ninetales back with the Super Road. So I somehow managed to survive. I can definitely attach one of my energies. Do I want to do that? I guess I won't. But more than that, he's down to 3 cards. It's still not time to go with the N. I'm just going to pass my turn. I'm going to take 6 damage counters. I didn't wake up, so Outrage can do nothing, which means that I can only take damage from the poison. As you can see, my opponent is down to 1 card, and this is definitely going to be a very close matchup. I need Junk Arm so I can switch, and I'm really looking for the Junk Arm. There's no sign of the Junk Arm. I guess I have 1 more energy to attach, and definitely I'm going to play my energy onto my active Terrakion just because I can hit with it for the Land Crush for the 90, and I can definitely knock him out next turn with one of my Donphans. That's very important, but the most important thing is that my opponent actually does not have cards left, and this might look like a GG. So there's a Junk Arm, and yeah, as you can see, in the Legacy format, you can even win without taking gold prizes because it's such a long format. Oh, there's a nice play. There's a Super Road, which means that he can bring back 3 cards into his deck back. So I guess he's gonna put 3 energies. All right, so he wanna go all in with his Reshiram on the bench, and there's a Outrage, and he's gonna take 1 more prize right here, which means that I'm going to promote my Donphan with only 10 damage counters into the active position, because only this Donphan can actually survive a big 120, a blue flare from my opponent. So 2 cards, I'm down to 2 cards, he's down to 3. It's still not time to play N yet. I'm just going to use my Earthquake right here, which is going to be enough for the knockout, so 60 damage. I'm down to 1 prize. Smurgle takes 10 damage counters, and this is very, very close matchup. I really need that. Next card, top deck Junk Arm, so I can force him with my Escape Rope and knock him out. Basically, one of his Pokemons, because they're all under 60 HP, and I really need that. I can assume that he can knock out my Donphan right here with the Blue Flare, or he can just use Outrage maybe, but Outrage will not do any damage right here, and I can just pass my turns. So all I really need, oh yeah, so he decided to pass his turn. And there's another fighting energy attachment. Where I'm going to put my energy, that's the good question, since I know that the next card is Junk Arm. I will not even attack right here. I mean, do I want to attack? No, I don't need to attack. But I can attack. Let's go with 1 energy on a Donphan. If I go with Earthquake, probably I will knock out my Smurgle next turn, so I don't want to do that. I really need to pass my turn. Basically, that's the only option. I really need that Junk Arm, less Junk Arm for the escape rope, so I can basically use my last Earthquake. If I did Earthquake this turn, I would put 10 damage counters on my Smurgle, and next turn, basically, he might be able to knock out my Donphan, and with my Earthquake, probably I would knock out my Smurgle. So there's a blue flare for a 100, and as you can see, Donphan can reduce the damage for 10, which means that I have that Junk Arm sitting in my hand, and I can put any card, any trainer card from my discard pile, which means that I'm going to put that Escape Rope, and once again, Escape Rope brings actually victory right here to me, because Escape Rope is a very nice card. As you can see, all of his Pokemons are 60 HP or less, and I can just promote my Donphan in the active position and basically hit with my Earthquake for a 60, which will be enough to take a last prize right here. So at the end, I win by taking all prizes. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting matchup. 22 minutes and 40 seconds, a match between Reshiram Ninetales and Donphan Terrakion, a legacy format deck takes. So once again, guys, I hope you enjoy watching this epic video. Don't forget to don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you already didn't. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave comments below. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned. Have a nice day and good.